All right, so this morning we are going to be solving equations, x distribution terms, lots of all bells and whistles. All right, my approach to algebra solving. So we're going to do some quick ones just to practice. Guys, you should have pencil and paper out. If you don't have paper, chair. We'll start off with something straightforward. Video it up on YouTube. Hopefully by the end of the day. Very first thing we even begin. Draw the line. Very good. Excellent. All right. Now, first real step. What do we do? What's to deal with first? What do we got? Distribute. I mean, what am I really? What is it? Yeah, there's a 1 there. We don't see it there, but it is there. All right. Distribute the -1. What's going on with here on the left-hand side? Over here? Okay, so we just copy it down. There's nothing going on. There's no distribution here, so nothing happens, and we're leaving it. All right, 1 times 1, -1, thank you. -1 times -8. Right, negative times a negative is a positive. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rearrange everything. Remember, we want letters on the left, we want variables all on one side. Later on, when you get more comfortable, you can feel all right about moving things over to the right rather than over to the left. But in the beginning, as we get started, let's just keep all the letters on the left, okay? And later we can start changing things up. All right, so is this 7x in the right place? That's fine where it is. It's a variable. It belongs on the left. It's where it's supposed to be. So we're just going to write it down. Nothing happens. Okay. It's not a variable. It's not supposed to be on the left. So we're going to move it. Just to the other side. Okay. Now, play. Supposed to be. Does it stay or does it? It goes, and when it goes, it comes over the other. Step, we have moved everything from to the right to the correct side of the equation, and now all we have to do is combine like terms. Right. So 7 minus -1. Just because I saw some students, maybe not in this class, but in other classes, having a little bit of confusion about what's going on there and maybe mixing up the rules with addition and subtraction with the rules for multiplication and division. If you think about these objects as moving left and right, if it's a positive number, it moves to the right of the number line. If you think of your number line, positives are on the right, negatives are on the left, right? So if I go forward 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I'm at a positive 7 right here, right? And then I go -8, that's left 8 units. And here I am at -1. Okay? So it's motion left and motion right when you're adding and subtracting. Okay? So no, what is my last step? What do I do? Divide. And what? If you want, it's really fun. Okay, we're just dividing both sides by the -1, and we're done. We feel all right? Okay, so let's do one more. A little bit more fangs and teeth, right? Okay. Great. Now what? We can distribute. Well, negative 10x. What happens to... Yeah, there's nothing going on. It's not involved in the distribution. Only the 5 and the parentheses are dealing with the distribution, not the 10x or the negative 10x. That just comes on down. And, right? They're not involved in the distribution, so you just come on down. All right, now here we are. Now, remember, you got a 1 right there, even if you don't need to even write it, because it's kind of like saying, I'm going to go and sit in the 1 chair. You don't need to say that. It doesn't make. You just say, I'm going to go sit in the chair. You don't need to put the 1 in front of it, okay? I'm going to pick up 1 pencil. Okay. It's kind of silly. But 5 times 1x is positive 5x. 5 times 3, 15. Yeah. Let's sort and rearrange. Negative 10x. There we go. Positive 5x. X is all variables on the left. Positive 15. Yeah, it's not where it's not. Okay. Negative 6x. There you go. Where's it? What happens to it? It goes. When it comes over to the other side, positive. So now we can combine all of our terms. Yeah. Whenever it goes from one side of the line to the other side of the line, it switches signs. So if it was a positive on the left, it becomes a negative on the right. If it's a negative on the left, it becomes a positive on the right. It just switches. So, telling you guys, you do your subtractions in the order that they came. And if we're looking at the left-hand side, you could maybe make your life a little bit easier by looking and doing the 5 and the 6 together. What's 5 plus 6? That's 11. And then we have minus 10. So 1. We're done. No, we just went over that. No, you don't need to write the 1. Okay, now if it's a negative 1, maybe you might want to put the negative there. I mean, well, if it's a negative, you definitely want to put the negative there. But just understand that if there's nothing there, there's a 1. And sit here and, worry about your negatives on this right-hand side. You got negative 15 and 18. Now, these two things are, you can rearrange them as long as you keep the symbol with the number. This, right, what I have in boxes is the same thing as positive 18 minus 15. And that might be more comfortable for most people. What's 18 minus 15? Yeah, well, first of all, the 18's bigger, right? So we're not going to deal with a negative number. All right, 18 minus 15 just gives me 3. To divide here because we've already got it as a 1, and we're done. All right? Sure.
Right there, what'd you do?
I just combined all those terms. It was 5 plus 6, which gave me 11, and then I subtracted the 10.
So would you just 1?
Right.
Okay.
That's why it's just this. No, that's fine. That's why there's only X. Okay. Fans, who's already knocked out a pink? Got a signature on it and it's in a book. Only 1, 2, 3 people? Show of hands, people. Seriously, own it. All right. Okay. I want all of us to be done with pink today. Okay. No need to be working on pink after today. All right. Now, green. Here's the deal with green. Green is just like pink. That there are two possible scenarios. And did I go over these last class? I did? No solution and all real numbers? Okay, I'm just going to go over it real fast, one last time, so that we all know what we're doing. Just set in over the long 3-day weekend. Okay. All right. All right. So, again, just like the last problem, you don't know if this is one of those weird scenarios or not. You don't know it until the very last step. So you treat it like you treated everything until you get to the very last step and you can decide, wait a minute, what the heck is going on? Process the first line. I know you all know how to do that now. I'll take a second and give you that moment to do it. Knock out the first line. All right. So we all knock out the first line at least? All right, what do I do with this line you see on the left? Nothing goes on with that. Just copy it down. All right, what happens here? Next part. This is my district. Nine R. And like you said, so now let's sort and organize. Okay. 381 comes on over here, right? Move the the 9R over to the other side, it becomes a negative. And this 45, it stays. Okay. Look at what happens. 9 minus 9. Well, if I have 9 books and I subtract 9 books, what do I have? I got nothing. I have 0. Okay. You know what? You can save yourself the trouble because I'll tell you something. Over here on the right-hand side, this is not going to equal 0. And in fact, it's going to equal a negative 135. And is 0 ever equal to a negative 135? Yeah, there is nothing going on there. This is false. Okay? The two scenarios that we're talking about occur when all of your variables are gone and all you have left is constants. Okay? I have this number is not, this is not true. This is false. And that's what you write on your paper. No solution. Okay? The next one, however, try this. All right. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to distribute like we always do. Negative. Negative 2 times the negative 5. Positive this time, right. And negative 2 times the negative 3, excuse me, positive 6. And the same thing is going to happen over here. Now I got 6. And, all right. Immediately one thing should pop into your mind. Wait a minute, Rocco, the two sides are exactly the same. Aren't they? Right? That might say, well, wait a second, something's going to happen. That's kind of like a warning light. Something's up. But let's move everybody around like we always do and see what happens. So this 10 comes. Copies down. What's happening here? What do I do with that? On the left-hand side, it becomes negative. Look at what happens. 6 minus 6. And is this a true statement? Yes. Okay, we don't have any variables anymore, but we're left with something true. Okay? If we were left with no variables and we had something false, that would be no solution. But if we are left with no variables and we're left with something true, now it could be like 5 equals 5, or 7 equals 7, negative 3. That's still true. No variables, got a true statement, always true. 0 is always equal to 0. Doesn't matter what you plug in. You could plug in any number you want into x and it will still be true. All real numbers. Okay? All real numbers means what you're saying is that all numbers will work. Any number will work in this because it will always come out true. Right. So, sum those. You have something equals something, and you're left with 0 equals 3. That's the solution. And something equals something, and you're left with 5 equals 5. All real numbers. By the way, there is a symbol to represent all real numbers. Does anybody remember what it looks like? It's a letter. It's a single letter. It's got a weird... Anyone seen this guy before? It looks like an R with like an extra backbone there. Okay, and this is the symbol used to represent all real numbers, the collection of every number you know. So beyond today, I want to see every pink slip on here done. I want to see everybody working on green by the end of the period. Okay, who has a composition book that just needs to have a sticker put on it and put over here? Okay, you with the composition books that need to have stickers on them, bring those up right away and put them on a pile on my desk, and I will put your stickers on it, and you will put your names on them if you haven't already. And let's get to work. This episode of The Ronco Show has been brought to you by the number 3.